Hey there, I'm Tyler and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to make a deer blind, or a deer stand, whatever you want to call that. Deer stand in pieces right there. Don't count the 2x4s. I don't know if that's exactly what I'll need or not because we're going to start to build and see how it goes. But anyway, we got the 16 footers right there for the ladder. We're going to start with the ladder, 10-degree angle on each of the rungs. Got to cut a bunch of pieces on the cordless miter saw. We'll whip out that ladder and then we'll move on to the frame of the stand itself. While we're at the miter saw, there is one piece that we want to make with a 10-degree angle on both sides, same direction. Easy to do on the miter saw using the predetermined stops there. And what this is going to do is going to make it very easy and very quick to build up our ladder using this template that we just made. And we'll show you that in a second. I have repeatedly called myself a screw all day kind of guy, but we want to be able to go quickly. And I want the shear strength of the nails. I am certainly going to add screws to make sure things are nice and tight and held together on the ladder. But because it's a ladder, I want to add some shear strength in there as well. And we got the spacer right here with the angle on there, so I can just tip these rungs the way I need them to go, hold them in place, and shoot the nail. You stay back there. There we go, yeah, look at that. Alrighty, it's time for just a bunch of cutting. We got to cut all of this stuff out right here and then we'll assemble it. Gonna get this cut out and then we will slap it together, I guess. Okay, got all the parts behind me for one side of the box blind or platform ready to go right there. And I've already found a couple of things that I want to change to simplify the cutting and the building of this for you guys if you purchase the plan. So let's get this together, two sides, and then we'll put it together with cross bracing, and then the seats actually go in here and provide the lateral support up top and hold you while you're up there. Right, there's the two sides of our stand. Backwards. There you go. Now it's looking at you. That's the two sides of our stand. Seat will go right there. Remember when we rebuilt the deck over there and I burned a bunch of stuff, and some of you, you know who you are, got all irate about me burning all that decking? You know who you are. Come on now. So we're going to use some of that for the seat and the back. And the portion that goes up against the tree, we need to cut a goofy little notch there. We're going to reuse some of this wood right here. As you can clearly see, I cut some of these deck boards down to the length that we needed. Now I'm pulling the nails out. And you ask, hey Tyler, why are you pulling the nails out after you cut it down? Don't you not want the nails near your tools? Now, I measured, made sure I wasn't going to cut over any of those nails. The reason I wanted to do it this way is because some of the nails got cut off and will be burned, so I don't need to spend the time to take them off. It's the little things. And we also want to make sure we pick these nails up so they don't end up in the tire. Stay there. Stay back. There's a board that goes right here, and this is where the ladder is going to, one of the points of interface for the ladder anyway, and it needs to be at a 10-degree angle here. Now, kind of tricky, but remember that board we used to make the ladder steps? Why, look at that. So let's go ahead and put this board right here to get our spacing that we need, so 1.5 inches away, and then we will slide our template board right up there, and then look at this. We got a line that we need to put that board right up against to make sure we got that proper angle. These boards right here are going to go along the front here, which will allow us to connect the siding, but it also is the interface for where the ladder is going to bolt against. There'll be bolts here for the ladder and then against these as well, interface to the top. We are looking pretty good right now, very comfortable. I am a little concerned that it's going to be a little bit tight when the ladder gets up in here. But if it is, I will fix that for you guys so that there's a little bit more space. Now this crazy little piece is probably the most complicated cut in the whole build, and this is where the ladder is going to bolt to the frame of the blind itself. Really not difficult to cut, you just want to make sure you keep your hands out of the way and kind of do it in 2 stages. With your hand in front of the saw, and then with your hand in the back of the saw and make sure it's out of the way. Later on in the build, you will see me comment that I actually cut this piece off that I'm putting on right now, and that is because I changed the interface of the ladder to the frame a little bit just to make it a little bit more roomy up in the deer stand. Now, the plans accommodate for this already, so it is not something that you guys will need to do if you build this. It's just something that I'm bringing to light because you will see it look a little bit different later on. And kind of along those same lines, if you build this per the plans that are available, the ladder will not go up to the top rail. Again, that's because I cut that piece off later on in the build to give a little bit more room. So at the top here, making sure this is nice and flush with the top, and we're already squeezed into the area that we need right there. It actually fit fairly well. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a nail there, shoot a nail there, and then we really gotta add some screws because I don't think the nails are gonna hold much together at this point. Now that we got everything together with all of the nails, which will give nice support this way from shearing, we're going to go ahead and take a bunch of different various Power Pro screws, and then these are some 4 and 5 inch structural bolts, and we're going to make sure this thing is not going to pull apart as time goes on. We use the bigger bolts up here and then the screws throughout. Pretty much everywhere I want at least 1 screw to make sure it's held together. I do want to stress for the ladder interface that you want to use structural screws or lag bolts. Screws will not be adequate for this, as this is going to accept the brunt of the force of holding the tray stand up in the air. Later on in the build, you will hear me talk about how the interface to the tree that I put this deer stand on is not exactly what I wanted, and I had to do some modifications to this portion that connects to the tree. Now, in the plans, this is going to stick out a little bit further than I have it right now, so you guys should be good regardless of what tree you're going to mount this stand on. Again, later on in the build, I will make a comment that I didn't actually connect my ratchet strap to this eye bolt. I didn't think it was strong enough and found it better to actually wrap around the tree to stand interface boards. As we are cutting and installing this siding, I would like to thank its manufacturer, DIYTyler North America, for sponsoring today's video. These panels are their Endura Premium Series panels, and you can get them in various different colors at your local Lowe's home retailer. These panels are going to do 3 different things. First, they're going to shield me so the deer can't see me so easily. They're going to block some of the wind to keep me more comfortable, and because we're going to be installing a roof, it's going to keep the rain off me if I choose to hunt in more inclement weather. Again, you can find these at your local Lowe's home retailer, and you get various different color options so that you can build exactly what you need. I've used these panels multiple times in the past. I highly recommend them. They are an asphalt panel, so they are very durable. They are very easy to work with and quick to install. Again, thanks DIYTyler North America for sponsoring today's video. So we just finished making the 2 sides of the blind, and I'm making it kind of modular so that I can lift these up after the deer stand is up in his tree. Now we need to make the roof. What is this goofy offset that my foot is on right now, you might ask? It is so that we can interface to those sides, and we will point that off a little bit later. There is a 10-degree angle on 2 of these boards so that it connects to the sides very nicely, and those are called out in the plans if you guys are going to build this.
Okay, I'll admit, the wife was right. This thing is way heavier than I thought. I thought that with the leverage of being higher in the truck, I was going to be able to just swing this up into the tree. Not the case. I think we're on, what, Sarah? Like, try number 3? We're going to use the truck. Work smarter, not harder. So, it would be really nice to have a snatch block, but we have a pulley system around the branch right there. Got a bow line knot on a rope right there. We got the tow strap hooked to that rope, and then we got that down to the tow hitch of the truck, which is behind you. Right here, we gotta pop it into 4 low, and we're gonna pull it up. At least we'll get it up high against the tree, and we should be able to wiggle it around from there. Sarah is just holding it tight right now. She's gonna let it get snug, and then she's gonna get out of the way. And let's see what we can do. Okay, that's up. No broken windows, no broken bones, broken faces. Obviously the intention was that this would be well interfaced to the tree, and we're not there because this is tilting out so much. So I'm gonna have to figure out if I want to do something up here or if we need to rotate it around the tree. But at least now it's not gonna fall down. Let me think about it. We are up in the stand, so we're bolted in pretty good. Had to make an adjustment for our stand. For you guys, that'll be taken care of. And let's go ahead and see if I can get this side up. I do want to get a couple of screws started here so that I can hold it up right away. There we go. Okay, stand back in case I drop this. So this was set up to clip, oops, right in there. Looks good. not so bad. Oh yeah, good job. Okay, Sarah, hook that. Yep. Push it down right where your left hand is. Push it through that one. Yep. Hooking it on my toe down there, just so I can get better situated. Dropping it down, clipping it into the panel right there. Okay, didn't film pulling the roof up because it was heavy and I didn't want the GoPro over my head as I needed to rock this up. But the kids set it right there and I lifted it up here outside and then kind of set it up on top of one of these and then rocked it over and lifted it into place. Here you can see the back. Remember, we offset this board. It's on that 10-degree angle, so we'll be able to shoot a screw right through here, and we'll be able to shoot screws right through here to hold everything down. There we go. As you saw, we put the screws through this way. I added a couple this way as well, just so that we have the heads of those screws on the outside, because the roof and all of the siding is only held on by these screws and screws on the bottom here. I want to make sure that the wind isn't going to rock these loose over time. Underneath the stand now. Adding screws to the bottom of, this is the siding frame right here. As you can see, I didn't end up using my eye hooks. I just wrapped around the board right here because I thought it would be a little bit stronger. I was a little concerned about it being tight up in here. I did remove the angle that you might have seen earlier in the build. In the plans, this is already taken care of, which will give you a little bit more height as well. So instead of cutting this, you're just going to put the box higher. So really, you're going to add another foot, foot and a half to your seat level and get you higher up in the air. But there is actually plenty of room in here. You can even put a little cup holder in here for some morning coffee if you are a morning hunter. And I had Serafina up here earlier today, and there is plenty of room. Very excited to put this to use. Well, that is a wrap on the deer stand, the deer blind up on the stand, whatever you guys want to call it, and it is looking pretty sweet. I'm excited to put this to use in the next couple of days. The Endura siding is going to help cut down the wind, which is about chest level right here, so that will help keep the wind off of my lower body and keep me a little bit warmer. And obviously the roof over the top is going to help keep me a little bit drier, keep the snow off of me if I'm out here in more inclement weather. And the view, you can't beat the view. It's going to be super peaceful up here. There are plans, again, for various different options of this build. If you guys want to build something, link to those down in the description below. We appreciate you guys, and make sure you send me a picture if you do build one of these, and we want to definitely see what you guys are up to. If this video helped you out, please hammer that thumbs up button, as it helps us out and gets this video in front of more eyes. I'm DIYTyler, up in the deer stand, ready to hunt. You guys have a good one.